Okay, here we are, Q2, week 6, day 4. Find the quotient. Okay, we are going to go ahead and rewrite this and write things kind of small so we can see if we can get it all into this page. So we're going to have 43. And we're going to divide that into 8,328. And I'm going to put some zeros here. You never know how many you're going to need, so I kind of just do it preemptively. All right, so can 43 go into 8? No, it cannot. Can 43 go into 83? Well, twice of 43, or 43 times 2 is 86. So it's just a little bit too high, so we can only do 1. Okay, and then we're going to subtract 43 from here. So then we have 3 minus 3 is 0, 8 minus 4 is 4, and we're going to bring down the 2. Okay, so now how many times do you think 43 will go into 402? I'm going to guess it's going to be about 9. Let's find out. 9 times 3 is 27. And then 9 times 4 is 36, plus 2 more is 38. All right, so we're going to have to borrow from the 4, make that a 3. This becomes a 10 and then a 9 because we're going to borrow from that one to help with this 2 and make it a 12. So now we have 12 minus 7, which is 5. 9 minus 8, which is 1. And then 3 minus 3 is 0. So now we're going to break down the 8. Okay, so how many times would 43 go into 158? I would say probably about 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, so we're going to have to borrow from the 5, make it a 4, and make this an 18. 18 minus 9 is 9. 4 minus 2 is 2. All right, so now we have to bring down a 0. All right, so how many times do you think 43 goes into 290? I would guess probably about 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 more is 25. 25, subtract that. Okay, again, we're going to have to borrow from the 9 to make it an 8. This becomes a 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. 8 minus 5 is 3. And then we got 32. Okay, then bring down another 0. How many times will 43 go into 320? I'd probably say about 7. Let's see. 7, 14, 21. I'm going to bring it over here. 320. 7 times 3 is 20. 320, sorry. 7 times 3 is 21. That's where the 1 came from. So I'm going to put a 1 here. Carry the 2. 7 times 4 is 28. Plus 2 is 30. All right. So we're going to borrow from the 2 and make it a 1. Make this a 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. 1 minus 0 is 1. Okay, so 19. And then we're going to bring this 0 over here now. How many times does 43 go into 190? Sorry, 190 divided by 43. Okay, is about 4 times, right? 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 1 more is 17. Okay, and then, all right, well, we can probably just stop there. So to find the quotient for this one, it looks like the answer would be 193.674. That's our answer for that one. Okay, we're going to find the quotient again, but now we have decimals. So we're going to move this over one place. We're going to move this over one place, which gives us a 13 on the outside and the 8,373 on the inside. I just add some zeros just to make sure if I need them, I will have them. So how many times does 13 go into 83? I would say probably 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. All right, we have 83 minus 78, and that's going to give us 5. All right, so now we're going to bring down the 7. How many times does 13 go into 57? I would say probably 4 times. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. All right, there we go. 57 minus 52 is 5. Bring down a 3. Well, looks like we're going to about the exact same number. We got 52 last time, so let's put the 4 again. We have 52 again. I'm going to subtract that, which gives us 1. Bring down a 0. Okay, how many times does 13 go into 10? Well, it can't, so it's going to have to be 0. And then we just bring down the next 0. How many times will 13 go into 100? I would have to say about 7 times. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 2 more is 9. Okay, 100 minus 91 is 9. Right, bring down the 0. And then how many times does 13 go into 90? I would say about 6 times, right? Yeah, 6, because 7 times was 91, just a little bit too high. Okay, instead of working it out, I'm just going to stop there. Put the decimal up here so we know the answer is 644.076. That's our answer for that one. There are 12 girls and 18 boys in a class. What is the largest number of groups they can split into and have the same number of boys and girls on each team? Okay, so they have to have the same number of boys and girls on each team. So we have to find the greatest common factor of 12 and 18. And so here's all the ones for 12. Here are all the factors for 18. What is the biggest number that is in both of those lists? Well, the answer is 6. Okay, so how many groups can they make? They can make 6 groups. Okay, and they don't really ask this, but how many would be in each group? Well, 6 goes into 12 twice, so there'd be 2 girls per group. And 6 goes into 18 3 times, so there'd be 3 boys per group. So the answer is 6 groups, and each group is going to have 2 girls and 3 boys. All right, that's all you have to do for that one. Carly spends 9 hours a day working at her job. So 9 hours a day. What percentage of her day does she spend at work? Well, how many hours are in a day total? Like one full day? Well, that would be 24 hours. So she spends 9 of the 24 hours at work. So it says, what percentage of her day does she spend at work? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to divide the whole amount, or the total amount for the numbers of hours of the day, into how much she works in a day. So we're going to divide 24 into 9. Well, we're definitely going to have to probably have some decimals here. All right, so how many times would 24 go into 9? Well, it can't. So what's 90 divided by 24? Well, that would probably have to be 3, because 4 would be close to 100. Closer to 100, that's going to be too many. So 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. So we're going to take 90 minus 72, and that's going to equal 18. And then we'll bring down the 0. How many times does 24 go into 180? So we do 180 divided by 24, and that gives us 7. All right, 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 2 more is 16. Okay, and then again, we're going to have to just solve this one by borrowing from the 8, make it a 7, make this a 10. 10 minus 8 is 2, 1. All right, and then we bring down a 0 here. How many times does 24 go into 120? Well, that would be 5 times. Okay, so then 5 times 24 is actually 120. So now we have no remainder. So we're going to bring this decimal up. And remember, to change a decimal to a percent, you just multiply it by 100. So we're just going to move the decimal over 2 places. So the answer is going to be 37.5. Okay, so it says, what percentage of the day does she spend at work? She spends 37.5% of the day. And that's how you would find that answer. Okay, now we are going to evaluate the expression. And so I just kind of worked it out and showed each step along the way, the first thing we had to do was exponents. So 4 to the third power is 64. The next thing we have to do is look and see what type of operations are happening. Division has to happen before addition and subtraction. So 64 divided by 2 is 32, and that's how we got that answer. Next we look, all we're left with is subtraction and addition. So we just go from left to right. So normally we don't do subtraction first, but in this case we do, because it's the first thing left to right. 7.5 minus 3.2 is 4.3. And then we just add 4.3 plus 32, and that gives us 36.3 as the answer to this expression. And that's all you got. What expression is represented in the model below? Well, I don't know, let's just pick X or Y. How about if we start with X? Why not? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of X's. So it's going to be 4X. And we add that to, what else is on here? 1, 2, 3, 4 Y's. And we're going to add that to, what else is on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 ones. 4X plus 4Y plus 7. That's the expression. Are the two expressions equivalent when X equals 2? Well, let's just see if the expressions are equivalent. Let's use this 7 and distribute it to everything in here. 7 times 8 is 56. I already see a problem here. So we have 56x plus, well, 7 times 5 is 35. Okay, so since I kind of broke this down and made this the same as this, are they the same equation? Are they the same expression? The answer is no. Okay, so if that's the case, if you put 2 in for X, if you put 2 here and 2 here, are they going to give the same answer? Well, obviously not. They're going to end up as very different answers. So the answer to this one is no. They are not expressions that are equivalent. List 3 values that would make this inequality true. And it's called an inequality because it has a greater than, less than, or equal to sign. Or actually, inequality, greater than or less than sign. An equal to sign would make an equality. All right, so, or an equation, actually. So, the inequality means 48 is less than 7 times n. Well, let's think about this. If 7 times n has to be bigger than 48, what is 7 times 6? If we put 6 in here, that would be 7 times 6, which is 42. Is 42 bigger than 48? No. Okay, so let's try 7. What if we put in 7 for n? 7 times 7 is 49. Is 49 bigger than 48? And the answer is yes. Okay, so basically n could be any number that is 7 or above, right? So as long as it's more than 7, or actually more than or equal to 7. So this could be 7, and then you could pick any other random numbers like 14 and 92. Or it could just be 7, 8, and 9, right? Any number larger than 7, you put that in there for n, you're going to end up with a larger number than 48. So that's all you have to do for that one. Okay, we have a baby elephant weighs 1,400 pounds, which is 7,437 pounds less than her mother. Okay, so her mother weighs more than 7,437 pounds total because it's this plus this, basically, will give us the total amount of the mom. So write an equation to express the weight of the mother. Okay, well, I guess I kind of gave one away. Another way you could do it is say n, which is the amount of the weight of the mother, minus 1,400 would equal the difference of that, 7,437. Okay, so once we found this out, we would know how much the mother weighs. And just so you guys know, in case you want to have this, it's 8,837 pounds, which would be how much the mom weighs. Okay, but here's the expression or the equation that we're looking for. N minus 1,400 equals 7,437. And that's your answer.